Right now, we are creating a bearish divergence, and at the same time, we are running it towards the most important weekly resistance level. You need to be very careful in the very short term, because we are also trading in a weekend, and momentum is right now slowing down. You can clearly see that every single move towards the upside is getting weaker and weaker and smaller and smaller. Okay, so yesterday we got this pretty nice breakout of this symmetrical triangle that we did talk about. And if we have a look in towards the price target, yes indeed, we did exactly reach our price target right here and even went a little bit above it. As well as this bull flag that we also did break towards the upside, and this has also resulted in a very good move towards the upside being created. But of course, yesterday I also talked about the fact that we will be trading in a weekend again, and this alongside with the fact that we have been creating a bearish divergence has resulted us to actually create a move back towards the downside. So one thing is for sure, because we are trading right now in a weekend, we are creating this bearish divergence, which by the way still has some more potential downside to go in my opinion. We have just created this whole move towards the upside, and of course we can be expecting some kind of a cool off towards the downside again. We are running in towards one of the most important resistance levels. Well, in my opinion, in the imminent short term, we can still cool off a little bit more and still retrace a little bit further towards the downside. So if we have a look in towards our next support levels, if we are going to be retracing, well, of course, yesterday we perfectly got supported by this 4-hourly support right here. And whenever we do retrace back again at this support level, I do expect we are going to be getting supported and we are going to be getting some kind of a bounce. And then in the beginning of next week, whenever we will be opening our CME futures trading again, well, I do expect we are going to be trading at about the same level, just like we closed at about the 31.1k level. And then next week, I do expect we are going to be continuing our uptrend towards the upside, and that we are going to be breaking this weekly resistance, because if we have a look in towards our volatility chart on the 4-day time frame, we can still see that our volatility is sitting still at very narrow stages, and still we are not really seeing our volatile move that we have been waiting for. Well, yes, of course, we have seen already a very nice move towards the upside of about 25%, but if we really have a look in towards our Bollinger Bands chart, of course, we are still trading at very narrow stages. So a much bigger move is actually imminent, and I do expect this is going to be coming next week, and we will be breaking this weekly resistance. So the short term is still looking pretty weak right here, and a cool off I would say is pretty imminent. But if we have a look in towards the longer term charts, of course, we are still looking very good, and it is still looking like a way bigger move is about to happen. Well, other than that, I'm still in my long position of about 5k profits right now. The funding rates are starting to get a bit higher again, but it is still looking pretty good. And of course, in the longer term time frame, we can still move towards the upside. And another very interesting thing is that I talked about the stock market and the Bitcoin chart. And of course, I talked about the correlation and how it was very strange that Bitcoin was moving towards the downside, but at the same time, the stock market was actually moving towards the upside. And right now, we are basically seeing an inverse correlation. Of course, right now, well, the stock market is moving down, but Bitcoin just got this massive move towards the upside. So that is pretty strange right now. I do think in the future, in the coming few days, well, the stock market and the Bitcoin chart will be pretty correlated again. Just like the fact that, of course, I was talking about how this was a pretty nice divergence. Of course, we were seeing the stock market moving up while Bitcoin was moving down. So I was saying, all right, Bitcoin has some catching up to do with the stock market, and it will be very likely that Bitcoin will just make the same move towards the upside, but a little bit later. And that was exactly what we did right here. So make sure to be updated about every single market development on my Twitter, and I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.